What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TFD with Cordy. And look, I'm just gonna be real with you today. We need to talk about Alyssa Thomas, because at this point, it's getting ridiculous. Alyssa Thomas doesn't need to be figured out. She doesn't need some secret defensive scheme. She doesn't need some special matchup. There is only one thing that can stop Alyssa Thomas in the WNBA, and it's not another player. It's not a team. It's not a coach. It's the refs. Actually, 3 of them. The refs. Because Alyssa Thomas plays the way she plays for one simple reason. She gets away with it. That's it. Full stop. If Alyssa Thomas was getting called for fouls the way other players are, half of this stuff would not be happening. It's not complicated. You reward behavior, you encourage it. You ignore behavior, you normalize it. And in Alyssa Thomas's case, the league has basically told her, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. Let's start with the Cameron Brink play. Cam is already wearing a face mask. She's already dealing with injury. She goes up, running under, trying to make a normal basketball play. Alyssa Thomas comes through, and her arm doesn't just go straight up. It goes up at an angle. And that elbow? It catches Cam in the face. Mask or not, that's dangerous. That's not tough basketball. That's not physical play. That's a foul. And what happens? No call, no whistle, no review, no accountability. And even if you want to say, well, maybe it wasn't intentional, okay, fine, let's play that game. Even without history, even without everything else Alyssa Thomas has done over the years, that is still a foul. She body bumps her. She leads with the hip. Her arm is out of position. It's a blocking foul at minimum. And instead, Cam has to just throw the ball up and hope for the best because she knows the whistle isn't coming. And this is the bigger issue. When you allow excess physicality, players don't stop. They escalate. They keep going. They push further and further until they cross the line. And once they cross it, they keep going past it because there are no consequences. We've seen this with other players too. J.C. Sheldon, for example, she literally slide tackled Sid Colson, went nowhere near the ball, went straight through her knee. No real attempt to play basketball. That's not defense. That's reckless. That's dangerous. And it wasn't even properly called. That's why players feel emboldened to do stuff like that. Same thing with Paige Bueckers. Alyssa Thomas doesn't try to get out of Paige's way. She doesn't try to slide her feet. She doesn't try to contest vertically. She just rams straight into her, drops the shoulder, boom. That's not basketball. That's football. That's rugby. That's hockey. That is not supposed to be legal in the WNBA. But with Alyssa Thomas, it is. And the worst part? This is her entire game. This is what she does. She runs through people, she hacks, she bullies, and the league literally tells defenders, just get out of her way. You hear this all the time. Players are coached to let her go because the refs won't call charges. Think about how insane that is. You're basically saying, don't play defense, just let her score. There are plenty of players in this league who would gladly take a charge if it meant putting the opposing team's star in foul trouble. That's basketball. That's strategy. But you can't do that against Alyssa Thomas because you already know how it's going to go. She'll run you over and the whistle won't blow. So what does that teach her? It teaches her that she's untouchable. It teaches her that she's above the law. People try to dress it up as bully ball, like that's some kind of compliment. Becky Hammon said something like that, and people tried to cancel her over it, which is wild. Saying someone plays bully ball is not some deep personal insult. It's a description of a play style. And in Alyssa Thomas's case, it's not even creative bully ball. It's not skillful. It's not pretty. It's just running through people because you know you can. Let me be blunt. Alyssa Thomas does not have elite basketball skill. She's strong, she's aggressive, she's relentless, but she is not some bag-heady finesse player. She's not breaking people down with handles. She's not hitting tough shots off balance. She's not cooking defenders with footwork. She's just bigger, more physical, and allowed to be reckless. The best comparison I can give, and this is niche, is someone like Lindsay Peet from Irish basketball. Not in size, but in mentality. She used to just go through people. Didn't matter who you were. And even then, she had more actual basketball skill than Alyssa Thomas does. Alyssa's game is based on force, not finesse. And that's fine. Physical players belong in basketball, only when the rules apply to them, too. If the refs actually called her for charges, offensive fouls, illegal screens, and reckless contact, Alyssa Thomas would not be averaging what she averages. I'm dead serious when I say this. If you officiated her like everyone else, she'd probably average 7 points a game. 7. Because half her production comes from plays that should be whistles. Look at Kate Martin on defense. She just stops and looks at the ref like, what am I supposed to do? Paige Bueckers literally just stands there sometimes like she's praying. And that's not hyperbole. There's footage of Paige with her hands up like, Lord, please. That's what happens when players feel unprotected. They stop trusting the game. And here's the thing people don't want to admit. Blowing the whistle doesn't stop physical play, but it stops intentional dirty play. It stops players from feeling invincible. It stops them from leaving a leg out, leaving an arm out, throwing an elbow. Remember the Caitlin Clark screen last year? Cam leans over. Caitlin is coming around, bent forward, and Alyssa cracks her right in the jaw, straight up. That should have broken Caitlin's jaw. I don't know how it didn't. That, to me, is one of the 2 most dangerous plays I've ever seen in the WNBA. The other one? The Angel Reese slam. Picked her up and threw her into the floor. One of those was an ejection, the other, a common foul. After review. That tells you everything you need to know. Alyssa Thomas is officiated differently. We talk about the Paige whistle. We talk about A'ja Wilson getting superstar calls. But Alyssa Thomas isn't just getting calls. She's not getting called. That's the difference. A'ja gets favorable interpretations. Alyssa Thomas gets immunity. A'ja gets the Coldplay hug jump balls where she wraps people up and somehow it's a jump. Fine, that's superstar treatment. But Alyssa Thomas is on a different level. She's above the law. She can do whatever she wants. And why? Why is this player, who is not a ratings draw, not a jersey seller, not a fan favorite, not a casual viewer magnet, why is she officiated like the untouchable final boss of the league? They didn't even sell her All-Star jersey. Think about that. Every other All-Star had merch. Alyssa Thomas didn't, because they knew nobody was buying it. Nobody is turning on the TV to watch Alyssa Thomas play. Nobody is going out of their way to see her. If I went to a random park in Indiana on a Fever game day and said, hey, I'm playing a YouTuber one-on-one, more people would show up for that than would show up just to watch Alyssa Thomas. So why is she protected? Why is she above the law? It makes no sense. She's not growing the game. She's not entertaining. She's not inspiring. She's not skill-based. She's not stylistic. She's just allowed to be reckless. And I want to be clear. This isn't about hating Alyssa Thomas as a person. This is about the league failing their players, failing Cameron Brink, failing Caitlin Clark, failing Paige Bueckers, failing Angel Reese, failing every young star that's supposed to be the future of this league. Because when the refs don't protect them, you're sending a message, you better learn how to survive, not how to play basketball. And that's not what the WNBA should be about. If the league wants to grow, if it wants stars, if it wants fans, if it wants longevity, then it has to enforce its own rules. You cannot let one player run around like they're playing a different sport. Alyssa Thomas doesn't need to be stopped by defenders. She needs to be officiated. That's it. Call the charges, call the elbows, call the illegal screens, call the reckless contact. Make her play basketball instead of rugby. Because until you do that, this is going to keep happening. And eventually, someone's really going to get hurt. And then the league is going to act surprised.
This bounces up.
From Alyssa Thomas.
Well, you see Angel Reese trying to come in. Oh my goodness. She had her hand around Angel Reese's neck
area. Time she went down and wasn't able to get back into the play defensively. Then the arm from Alyssa Thomas.
Well, you see Angel Reese trying to come in. Oh my goodness. She had her
career triple-doubles, 4 in the playoffs. She can get another one tonight.
Jonquil Jones and Alyssa Thomas.
The ball, but she went through her leg. Like Alyssa plays that way. She plays aggressive and physical consistently. And I just feel as though sometimes they let her get away with a little bit more than other players on the defensive end. And this is in no